People die. And eventually, and unfortunately, at some point during your correctional career, you're going to encounter death. You are going to have to deal with death. In some way, shape, or form, you will respond to or be impacted by an inmate dying. Now, most agencies provide lessons on how to give chest compressions and how to scan for signs of life. They certify you in CPR and first aid and then send you on your way. But what happens when you run to that alarm? When you arrive on scene and see a body for the first time? What's that look like? Your role, the toll. What's the next step? Well, let's talk about death.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a corpse? A body? The husk of a human after the heart stops doing what the heart does? It can be jarring, alarming. It's one of those moments that you never forget. Sort of like prom night. I'm sorry. Just trying to lighten the mood. Seeing the motionless remains of what was once a living and breathing human being can cause panic. Pause. It may shock and awe the onlooker. Okay, I'll be good, sorry. And that's okay. Bodies are weird. Death is weird. Walking into a murder scene is fucking weird. So let's dissect this. For starters, you need to prepare yourself as much as possible for the probability of responding to this type of an emergency. What is your role? What are you trained to do? Because when you get to the scene, you'll see a lot of people just standing around, watching, waiting for someone else to jump in, to render aid. I hear a lot of officers complain and question why they're on their knees giving compressions instead of medical staff acting. Well, the answer is simple. You're trained to do CPR and that's about the extent of it. So you do you. And medical will do medical things. In my experience, both departments work really well together to achieve that common goal. And each have a very valuable role. So who cares? Are you going to stop giving CPR because you don't think it's fair? Of course you're not. You're a professional. Just know that everyone is doing their part. Just focus on what you can do and listen to what you're told to do. Secondly, medical emergencies are intense, taxing, and can be traumatic. Your heart will be pumping and your adrenaline will be doing what adrenaline does. I remember doing CPR and thinking two things. One is that I need to keep breathing because I was down on my knees doing the thing and I realized that I wasn't even fucking breathing. It was going to be kind of embarrassing if I would have passed out right in the middle of the thing. Just trust me. It would have been bad. The other was that I needed to calm down, pace myself. I remember reverting back to my training. I paced myself to the tempo of the song that they taught us to keep the tempo of, which ironically is the Bee Gees' Staying Alive. I'm down there and I'm thinking it's so crazy this is that I'm giving chest compressions and singing Staying Alive in my head at the same time. Staying alive, staying alive. That was nuts. Then in most cases, you will render aid until the first responders arrive or until you're told to stop. I did air quotes because you were actually the first well, never mind. But once the EMTs take over and transport the downed party, you'll be left behind, on the scene, in the unit. And here's where the fun begins. Be prepared for the other inmates to start banging on their doors, yelling on their intercoms, inquiring as to when they're going to get to use the phone, or go to rec. He'll even request a channel change or some toilet paper, or ask you when the commissary list needs to go in. So there you are. After seeing your first body, after doing CPR for the first time, getting yelled at, getting harassed, getting asked about the Price is Right, just minutes after you attempted to save a life. Have you ever been involved in something like that? Fight or a death and your hands are shaking? The tunnel vision? The auditory exclusion? See, the hard part isn't the CPR. You were trained for that. The difficulty really begins after that, after the fact. For me, seeing the body was just the tip of the iceberg. For me, the immediate indifference of the offenders and from some of the officers is what got me. The comments, the callousness, the conclusion that this loss of life was insignificant, unimportant. That's what got me. And those sounds, those images are forever burned into my brain. So prepare for that. Know that that is coming. Know that your issue or your concern with what you witnessed may be dismissed as weakness, may be perceived as some by being unfit for duty, and that you're not cut out for corrections. This aggravates me to no end. This pisses me off because we take an oath We have an obligation to protect our fellow officers, to be there for them. But time and time again, we prove that if it's not a physical injury, that we won't be there. We always say, we got your six, we got your six, we got your six. But not if you're sick. Not if you're sick. Sorry. I get a little passionate about my people. Lastly, you need to be prepared to live after the call, to process what you saw, to be able to understand if and how the death may have affected you. And I'll tell you this, some of us see that impact right away. The anxiety, the sleepless nights, flashbacks. But sometimes the symptoms take a minute to manifest. And that's okay. If you hear nothing else that I say, know that it's okay to not be okay. You're going to see and hear things that follow you home, that are going to take up real estate in your brain. The lesson here is to talk. Don't internalize. Do not fake it till you make it. Doing so will only make the eventual break worse. Look, bodies are weird. Death is weird. Walking into a murder scene is weird. So be aware. If you find yourself struggling, seek help. I promise that it's out there, and I promise that you're not the only one going through whatever it is you're going through. All right, guys, if you like this video, if you found value in this video, straight punch that little like icon. Like and leave a comment and share this content with anyone and everyone that you think may be interested. Subscribe and click that little bell so you're notified every time I release another video. And if you're looking for more correctional content, head on over to my Facebook page. I'll post a link in the description below so you know where to go. All right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, be smart, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, yo, let's go.
Hi, how are you? How was school? Good? You're just staring at me. Do you want to say hi to the people? Say hi, people.
No.
Just say hi, people.
Hi.
Hi, they can't hear you. Say hi, people. No, that's not what it said. Say, hi, people. No. Just come here, say hi to the people. Come here, say hi, people. You just gotta look.
There's lights there.
There's lights everywhere. Oh, careful, water. Come here, say hi to the people. So ready? Ready? Say, hi, people. All right, now get the fuck out of here.
That's me.
She's laughing at me, choking. I'm choking. I would have needed. See, and she's just laughing.